contemporaries, has had a life and career filled with brilliance, creativity, and heartbreaking shadows that many fans never knew existed. Best known as a founding member of Electric Light Orchestra Part 2, and as a session musician and songwriter for legendary artists like John Lennon, Billy Joel, and Meat Loaf, Troyer was always the man behind the magic, his vocals and arrangements quietly supporting some of rock's greatest moments. But while his voice and talent were ever present in the background of hit songs and stadium tours, his personal journey was marked by deep emotional struggles, professional disillusionment, and the pain of being constantly overshadowed by the stars he helped shine. Troyer began his musical career with fire and ambition, moving to New York in the 1970s to pursue his dreams. He quickly found work in recording studios, lending his soaring vocals and piano skills to huge projects. But instead of stepping into the spotlight, he remained in the shadows, admired but largely unrecognized. When he joined Bev Bevan to form ELO Part 2 in the late 1980s, many believed it was Troyer's time to finally be known as a leading force in rock. However, the band was met with skepticism from critics and hardcore fans of the original ELO, many of whom viewed it as a lesser version of the real thing. This constant comparison to Jeff Lynne's legacy weighed heavily on Troyer, who poured his soul into the project. He sang lead on many tracks, wrote original music, and worked tirelessly to keep the spirit of ELO alive. Yet, he was often seen as a stand-in rather than the visionary he truly was. Emotionally, the burden of being in the background became a silent torment. Friends and colleagues noted that Troyer was deeply sensitive, thoughtful, and introverted, a man who felt deeply but rarely expressed the pain of being underappreciated. Despite having one of the most distinct and emotive voices in rock, he lived in a world where name recognition often mattered more than talent. He quietly watched others bask in the limelight while he remained a footnote in music history, even as his contributions were essential. Personal heartbreak added another layer of sorrow to his story. Though he maintained a degree of privacy in his personal life, it's known that he endured losses and emotional setbacks that he carried with him throughout his career. The music industry, known for its coldness and exploitation, offered little comfort to someone who wasn't chasing fame but rather authenticity and artistry. In later years, as the touring slowed and public attention waned, Troyer faded even further from the spotlight, retreating into a quieter, more private existence. The tragedy of Eric Troyer's story isn't one of scandal or sensationalism. It's the slow, painful erosion of a man's dreams by a world that never quite saw him for who he was. His voice, which once filled arenas and graced the albums of icons, became a ghost to many fans who never even knew his name. His story is a somber reminder that even in the world of rock and roll, not all of the greats get their due, and some of the most powerful voices are never truly heard.